Hey there, welcome to another episode of Tales from the Podcast. I'm going to go ahead and get us going pretty fucking quick into this shit. First off, I want to say go check out my website, talesfromthepodcast.com. You can buy this fucking comic book. You can do whatever you want with it. I honestly don't care as long as you purchase it. I mean, be like my buddy Uncle Ron. You can jerk off on it, order a new copy after that one gets too stiff, and we're good to go. And you can get two copies then. Also, check out some of our sponsors like House of Mysterious Secrets, and you can check them out over at houseofmysterioussecrets.com. Use our code 4130, save 10% on awesome horror merch. They have everything from toys, clothes, masks. I mean, whatever the fuck you want, I guarantee they have something for you. Also, check out this website, which is long. I'm going to go ahead and post it there. But we are sponsored by my friend Sydney, who does this really awesome thing where instead of making traditional wax melts, because I mean, let's be honest, we all want our houses to smell nice. She does them in a horror theme just for me. And you guys can go ahead and check her out and use my code TFTP20. That is in the show notes as well as the comments on everywhere for everyone to check out. And you can save 20% on that and have some pretty cool scents as well as some cool shapes that nobody else has. Now, let me go ahead and introduce my guest for tonight, which I will say this is pretty cool because the way everything's worked out. But my guest tonight's actually lives fairly close to the area where season 7 of this show was starting to go on. So let me go ahead and introduce Slutty the Clown.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing very, very well. Good evening, morning. Oh man, it's really late here. Whew.
It's really early here. It's 10 past 3 a.m., but that's good. I'm used to this.
It's like 10 p.m. for me.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So now this is your first time on here. So one of the things I always like to ask first time guests, and I mean, it's obvious from some of the work that you've done, for those who don't know, like Slutty the Clown, that you have some, at least to some extent, some pretty big horror influences in your life.
Definitely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think my influences kind of come, obviously the clown thing, but definitely Scream Queens is a huge influence. I like being the bad guy more than that, but definitely the kind of Ripley roles, the Sidney Prescott roles, the Sarah Connor roles, they appeal to me. But yeah, I like kind of being a clown. Pennywise was kind of a massive influence in the early days for me.
You don't say.
Yeah, it's kind of given.
a little bit. But obviously I'm going to go ahead and just assume, which I know most people say is a bad thing to do, but this is probably not your first time watching a Tales from the Crypt episode, is it?
Do you know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have seen the movies. I've seen Tales from the Crypt. I was not familiar with season 7. I was kind of like blown away with the English switch.
Yeah. Well, apparently, when HBO is like, all right, we're going to run out of money, what they do is they send the production to England.
Yeah, it was kind of. I read a thing earlier about kind of the director said we need to shake it up and all the rest of it. They kind of threw it over to England because they wanted castle locations and everything else for season 7, and then they were stuck because of tax for actors at that time, and so they were kind of stuck with the B movie actors like me.
Well, all right, no, now see, all right, you say that, but now if you go and actually check out some of the actors from season 7 and really
they go on to great things.
Oh, we got Ewan McGregor. I mean, even Daniel Craig's even in an episode.
Yeah, there's Daniel Craig, Ewan McGregor. I have made notes. Jane Horrocks, Natasha Richardson.
There's some
in this episode alone. We've got Christopher Cavanaugh. Yeah, it's like,
oh yeah, it's incredible what they were able to do, especially even sending everything over there and having so much less of a budget. That's for sure. But
yeah, absolutely,
it's kind of crazy. Well, I guess it's really not that crazy. I mean, I know quite a few people over, podcasting over on that side of the world, if you will. And it seems like everybody always has an issue trying to watch the show and getting it on DVD and stuff like that.
You
Like,
have no idea about our censorship. I struggle with it, as you know. I do the hangout like all the time,
right.
and we have a subject every week, and we get to something, and it becomes to the point where it's like, so have you watched this? And it's like everything we go on, it's like region blocked. You can't
Oh,
access this. You can't see this.
you need to
It's
get a
really
VPN.
strange.
That's what I do. Is I'll just run a VPN. So like when I want to watch your guys'
I've
show, I'll
don't
switch
have
to
a
that
full thing. I've
country.
just got a VPN and I'm trying to work my head around it, and I'm still struggling. But I've just got one. It's coming to the point where it's like it's kind of pathetic and like embarrassing when I can't like watch the movies that everyone else is watching every week.
Oh well, if you ever need a helping hand, let me know.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. But yeah, we are restricted. I find Rhino's also on the hangout with us. He's restricted with Canada. You know, it's
Oh
very similar.
really?
Canada, yeah, very similar to us. Is Canada. We get very similar restrictions from things. There's movies that were banned here that still we struggle with, but then there's other things we got that America didn't get. Of course, more
Right.
TV than movie based, but anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, there's other things too, because like, all right, Tales from the Crypt, for instance, we got the 1972 and the 73 films, the Amicus films of Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror. We had to wait to the Blu-ray to get an unedited version, while you guys got it
Yeah,
automatically.
there
So
were
it's
so
kind of
many
weird.
things that we got series wise. To go on a tangent of Buffy, we got it completely unedited at 5 p.m. afternoon,
Hmm.
where skin was ripped off bodies. Whereas in your country, it was never even released on DVD like that. You had to wait for a special Blu-ray.
Wow, I honestly I didn't even notice
And
that.
it's strange, and it's like an odd tangent, but it kind of explains the differences. You know,
Right,
it's like things we were shown, same to you, things you were shown,
right.
America, UK.
No, yeah, I mean, even Canada having the differences there is kind of weird to me because I
Yeah,
mean,
Canada, I find,
wow, like
is very similar to UK with what they have and what they can find. It's better than us, but it's still restricted to the same point.
I just every time I think of like Canada having a worse restriction than us, I'm like, huh. When I was 19, we'd cross the border because we could drink there legally first. Like, so it's like, huh,
Canadians
that's
are made of
crazy.
better stuff
No,
every
man.
time.
Well, they do have a lot of good things that come out of there, at least. I
They have
mean,
great. Canadians are amazing. I'll say that every
oh,
day of my life.
they I know it sounds stupid, but one of my other favorite anthology horror series is from there. Um, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah. You see, those kind of it kind of all falls into the same. Yeah.
Right. Definitely a lot more childish than Tales from the Crypt,
No, but
but
I like it's like Goosebumps. I kind of like that.
yeah,
You know, it's like I can go from that all the way through. And we have Tales of
exactly.
the Unexpected, which is what this episode reminded me of when I watched
Oh,
it.
talking about that, let's go ahead and jump into this episode because I can't wait to talk about the comic book at the end and kind of blow your mind a little bit because I mean, most people don't get the chance to actually go and read these comics. But this episode was originally released May 3rd of 1996. I was 8 years old. Just throw it out there.
I
Um,
wasn't.
no, I like that. It's like you're not even gonna say how old you're. Just I wasn't.
I don't mind.
I'm joking.
1996. I was 19.
Oh wow, wow. I mean, it's pretty close to my wife's age. I mean, it's not that old, so it doesn't matter. Um, and this was based off of the comic book of Vault of Horror, issue number 33. Now, this episode was, oh God, I suck with names. Directed by Brian Heglund, Helgeland. That guy? Yes.
Heckland,
He
Heckland,
looks
Heckland.
he looks like a
That's what I've got.
skinnier, older Jason Statham. And he
Absolutely. I'm the.
he really does. He really didn't do a lot, but it's kind of like, but the stuff he did was kind of fairly big. Like I didn't really care for A Knight's Tale. It's not for me, but I thought he did a good job doing The Order. And he's only done literally. He's only directed 7 things: Tales from the Crypt, Payback, Knight's Tale, The Order, Payback, Straight Up.
Was there Shakespeare in Love?
He didn't direct that.
I think he was in it or something to do with it from what I read earlier.
It was Shakespeare in Love.
Mm.
Well, I know he did a lot of screenplays because for
Yeah, I'm feeling it was a screenplay. I read a few things earlier, and Shakespeare in Love was brought up as something that was notable for him.
I don't see it in his IMDb
Mm.
or his producing. I'm not sure. I mean, it's.
I mean, he did do quite a lot of acting roles as well.
It's. I mean, people do so much. I mean, I'm only looking through certain aspects. I mean, he could have done something else entirely different with that one.
Well, I mean, like in these kind of movies, like in early days in careers, like so many people did so many different jobs.
Oh, fuck
like
yeah, they
a
do.
hat for the day, and you know.
But he's always done a lot of horror. Like the year I was born, 1988, he did the screenplay for Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. He did 976 Evil. He did some of the writing for the Friday the 13th series, which
awesome.
Yeah. He did Highway to Hell, 976 Evil 2. He also did one of my I always liked this book when I was younger, but he did the Cirque du Freak screenplay.
Oh, Cirque du Freak! Literally, didn't they remake some of those movies and kind of dumb them down?
They did one of them, but and I thought John C. Reilly did a pretty good job.
Something like that. It was one of those movies, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't think it was Peter Jackson. John C. Reilly
was something like that.
Yeah, it was good though. I mean, they did a really good job. That's for damn sure. In this episode though, we also got Francesca Annis.
Wow.
Yes. Man.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna say, for me personally, probably best known for the 1984 Dune.
Dune, yeah. I mean, she actually did a Macbeth thing before that was pretty epic, but yeah, Dune. I mean, Dune is like wow.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
she kind of reminds me of Jenny Agutter as well. Very English reference.
She did the 1990s Romeo and Juliet too. I mean, yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, with a lot of these British, especially films and everything. I mean, when you get the,
I mean, this whole season is like British.
Yeah, when you get a lot of those actors, though, I mean, you're going to get a more heavily influenced playwright. That's for damn sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, man, I mean, she's still been in so much shit, though. It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
She's a Thriller, Orson Welles, Great Mysteries. I mean, she has been acting since I think she started in the late 50s, but really started picking up in the 60s.
Yeah. So, I think it was like late 50s to early 60s, and she was one of those actresses in our country that she just has huge chops, It's like,
oh yeah, I mean, she did a really, really good job in this episode too.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed this episode. I'll be perfectly honest. I super enjoyed it.
Really, I'm super happy.
There was bits why I enjoyed it that is wrong. In a way.
Well, I mean, there's always going to be those bits, that's for sure. Now, we also, in this episode, though, we got Christopher Kazanov.
Yeah.
Yes. And he unfortunately passed away. But obviously, with a lot of these people, I mean, they've always worked together. So, he's probably best known for like A Knight's Tale as well as like Dynasty, which...
Dynasty was the big thing in our country with him being English.
I mean,
when
Dynasty,
he went into Dynasty was just this big American thing. In this country, it's like, oh wow, Christopher Kavanagh. It was Kavanagh to us, but Kavanagh to you. But yeah, it was I remember my mother talking about him quite a lot, even though I'm quite old already. But yeah, that was like he was that. I've got issues. The accent. You've got to remember where they've set this episode is where I come from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this episode is supposed to be set in Yorkshire, in rural North Yorkshire. I live in East Yorkshire, which is like 13 miles from North Yorkshire. Yeah,
Really?
so like I live where this accent is. It actually comes out like Manchester.
So I was
The
even
guy's
closer than
actually
I
from
thought.
London. He's from Cambridge originally. The
Really?
accent is the thing that like actually triggered me the whole thing, and it's bad. But it's like I actually come from the place where I'm supposed to be doing the accent, so it's really bad.
That's awesome though. Um,
It
now,
is, but it's like Christopher Kazanoff is like for us was like a oh wow, you know, to get him into things like Tesla and Crypt, you know, it's like it was huge. He was like a soap actor, really, as you say. We had Dynasty and the other stuff he's been in.
oh yeah. Well, I mean,
I think I
not
said
only that,
Freeman
but
and a little lady as well. One, he was the
yeah,
evil
he
boyfriend or
also
whatever.
did the Agatha Christie hour, which I thought was kind of ironic with this episode. Which
Yeah, it felt very. The whole. I mean, we're talking about one episode, but I've looked at bits sort of on and off when we talked about doing this, and it's like it seems very that vein. It's very English. It's very
oh yeah.
that kind of thing, you know.
When they brought it over, they weren't joking. Like, if you ever relax and sleep music said the accent was just awesome. But
Oh God, it wasn't. It still
if
wasn't. I
you
come from there.
if you
Sorry.
watch the
Right.
first episode though from season 7 and you see the intro with the Crypt Keeper, like they do such a cheesy way of introducing that the production all went over to England. Like,
I love cheesy, and that's
oh,
just perfect for me. It's
it
my
is like
favorite, you
top
know. And the
notch
fact that it's
cheesy.
based in where I come from, I must be honest though, in this episode, his accent fucking hard pass, man. It's like it's where I come from. It's like everyone I walk out into the street is supposed to sound like the accent he's doing, and it's like actually fucking 300 miles that way. That's the only problem. And the guy actually is from like 500 miles that way in real life, the actor.
Oh
And
wow.
it's awful and it's bad and it's picky, but it's like if you actually come from there, it's like, you don't, it's wrong.
Yeah, I wish we had more of a way around that. Like we're like where I live. I mean, like you got like that Wisconsin area where everyone kind of sounds like they might kill you, and they also might rape their own family. And then you get that Southern accent where it's like,
You see,
mm.
you're either from like fucking American Werewolf in London sounding like stick to the roads, lads. Or you from Shaun of the Dead. It's like there's no difference.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, here you guys have a lot more of a difference between. That's for damn sure.
The
It was
colloquialism for short range is
yeah.
huge. It's like 20 miles down the road. It's completely different, I'll be honest.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, I'm quite
I can't
rounded
tell.
because, like, I do like movies and stuff, and I speak to other countries all the time. But if you have
Right.
my original accent, and I think I said to you, like, chat was like, I need to slow it down, man, because it's like
Right.
it's
Um.
odd.
Yeah. Yeah. We also got Elizabeth Spriggs in this episode too. By the way.
Oh God, she's so alumni in our country. I swear
Yeah.
to you, she's in
She.
everything from my
Oh,
childhood. Everything.
she's in like every TV series over there.
Yeah,
And then
from
and
my
then
childhood, she was like a staple face in everything as kind of a
she
supporting
gets
actor.
cast type though pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like her role in Harry Potter and the
Yeah,
Sorcerer's Stone. She
that
is just called
basically tells
Fat
her
Lady.
career, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean it's like she's definitely typecast. There's no argument there, but I mean a lot of TV stuff, but a lot of genre shit. I mean, it seems like she's just done, I wouldn't say that she's done anything humongous. She's never been like a Tom Hanks or
She's
anything like
always
that,
been in the
but she's
backlight
worked.
supporting, and I'll be honest, there's something really great about
Oh yeah. She has
that.
an amazing way about her, and
The fact
especially in
that
this
I'm like
episode too.
40 fucking 8 years old, and I remember this woman from my childhood being in pretty much every TV series my parents watched that was generically on, you
Literally,
know.
I'm pretty sure she might be in every TV like series that ever came out over there. I mean, look
It
at her
would fucking
IMDb.
surprise me. I'll be absolutely fucking honest. It's like she's a staple face, and the second I watched it, I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
it's like so. It's like in America, I'm guessing as well. We have this pool of actors for certain things, don't you? You know,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think we used to a lot more than we do now. I mean,
I think in the
nowadays,
'90s it was a lot different to what it is now.
yeah. I mean, nowadays it's like they almost try to find fresh faces for things, and I'm like half on the
Alternative
edge
and
about
different
it.
isn't new.
I honestly feel that the reason they do that most of the time though is so they could pay less. I think they care more
Yeah,
about that.
finding someone new and fresh and undiscovered is a very easy way to go. We're not going to pay you.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like my point. I mean, I just they're not wanting to pay as much, and then, well, I mean, to top it off too, I mean, a lot of our great American actors are they're to the point where they can't do anything anymore. I mean, look at Bruce Willis. I mean, one of my
No,
all-time
bless
favorites
him,
too is
though.
like, you know, like
Heartbroken.
Michael J. Fox. He can't do anything
Oh,
anymore.
stop it.
You know, I mean,
Oh,
we got
God, mate. Do you want to make us start crying in clown makeup?
like Adam Sandler movies, always the same folks in them. Yeah,
No, but
I think that's
his crew is
specifically
like
because Adam Sandler's hiring
fire.
his friends. But I mean, it just is what it is. But I guess to get
Yes.
into this episode just a little
Right.
bit. Um,
You
this
find
is
a
a
tangent. Sorry.
oh no, you're fine. So the plot synopsis for this is a game account mouse ensues between a female mystery novelist and her jealous former husband when he accuses her of having a love affair with her nosy neighbor's son. Um, yes and no, kind of true. I mean, we get a writer who's being hassled by her neighbor, and you can tell, and kind of irritated, and the neighbor's really into her books. Well, as it pursues on, you end up realizing that she feels that somebody is trying to break into her house. And eventually we end up finding out that it is her ex. And he does have a gun, and you know, it gets crazy. He ends up being able to knock her out, buries her. The neighbor's son ends up kind of getting into the middle of it a little bit and being able to uncover her head, and she's able to get out. And then from there, it just gets a little bit more crazy. They all end up getting together in one room, and by the end, we ended up basically figuring out that the mom of the other guy kind of set this whole thing up. Basically, poisoned her own son with these cookies, which is what the fire burning type thing in his stomach. The husband finding these like little hints that she's fucking around on him, which were all written by the mom, and then the writer, the woman, who legitimately had no idea what the fuck was going on the entire time, and it's by the end of it, everybody ends up dead except for the nosy neighbor, who ends up stealing the lady's screenplay, or not really screenplay, but her new best-selling novel, and that's kind of where it ends, which is kind of crazy compared to the original story. Sean Smithson's joining in. He says, "Hey brother, want to stop and say hi to you?" And Slutty the Clown, no, back to work. Sorry to
Hey.
hear that, man. Sean, you need to get a hold of me soon, because definitely gonna have to get some more stuff from you eventually. For those who don't know, check out the obviously check out that channel, Smithson Creation Handcraft Woodworking. He does really really good work. If you can see
Yeah,
this
anyone
right
send
here.
me any links, I'd make, I'll
Oh,
share, pass on, whatever.
oh god, he does such a great job. He did these
Yeah, send me
custom
it, man.
engraved
Send me it.
stuff. Oh man, good guy too. Really good guy. He'll work with most people on anything. And
Yeah, awesome. Send me some stuff, I will share it.
oh yeah, I'll let you check out what he's doing. He's fucking
Awesome,
great
thank
for
you.
real. Um, Now going into the comic book though, this is not the story you get in the comic book at all. It is
I
not.
kind of spoke to a friend earlier, my friend Mark, who wrote comic books and he has a shop, and he kind of outlined the same. I didn't go into it too much, but he says it's completely different. I'm kind of blind here, but I'm willing to listen to. I mean, he kind of
Oh,
mentioned it.
it's entirely different. Like basically in the comic book, there's a murdering spree that is occurring, if you will. And they're trying to figure out who this murderer is because somebody's able to slip inside these places, kill these people, and get out without anybody really noticing what's going on. These doors are locked, the windows are locked. They don't know how somebody's able to get into these places and commit these murders. Now, partially way through this, we end up getting this doctor who ends up trying to help the police officer figure out what is going on. He ends up taking her to, ironically, the Bates Mansion. And
Ironically.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is also 1950, so I mean, this is I'm
But
not even sure if
I
it's
found lots of
ironically.
leans in this episode, I'll be
Oh yeah,
honest.
yeah. Well, by the time they end up getting there, he's basically describing that he knows who the killer is. The doctor is saying, and starts talking about this kid that was born years ago that he helped, deliver, and they kept him hidden, and he never told anybody. This kid was like a lizard-like kid who would have
It
been
sounds
able
like a
to.
Simpsons episode.
Dude,
Sorry.
it's fucking weird. And by the end of it, we end up realizing that this baby that was there is actually now the police officer. And just to show you how batshit crazy it gets, if you look at that last panel, you can see that the lizard creature is inside of the robot. The robot is the police officer, and you can see
Nice.
you
I
can
like
see
that.
exactly what he
I'm
is.
there for that.
It's quite the insane
I'm there
little
for that.
change.
Oh god, I press that.
Oh, I'll have to get you a picture of it and just send it to you. It's pretty fucking crazy for those who
It looks awesome.
oh yeah. And they do show other pictures of this thing as it was born and what it looked like because it was quite the shocking little thing that they turned it into. In fact, they get a picture of the baby while it's on the ground there, which
Yeah, I
its
kind of
legs
like
are
the
all
shocking.
messed up.
I'm kind of there for the shocking and the graphic
Oh
sort of
yeah,
novel style
you
comic
know.
book.
But the 1950s, I mean, it wasn't the greatest. I mean,
No,
I
but some
personally
of the
love it.
most shocking kind of stuff. I mean,
Oh god,
it's
yeah.
like sometimes comics kind of cross over to stag mags in the 50s, in that kind of way.
Oh, you were not wrong. In fact, if you can't tell how I got influenced by my comic book,
Hey, I've been in fake exploitation trailers and slutty. I know exactly where it comes from.
Slutty loves shocking. The more
She was
shocking, the
not shit.
better.
It's her
Hey,
thing.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I've been pretty open about one of my all-time favorite movies of all time being Cannibal Holocaust. I mean,
Yeah, well,
so
my husband's one of his first movies my husband watched when he was like a small child was Cannibal Ferox.
oh, really? Another really good
Yeah,
one.
when he was like 9 years old, his father, my father-in-law, showed him it, but kind of in tongue in cheek, and it had an effect. And we talk about it a lot in the hangout that he was 9 and saw Cannibal Ferox. So yeah, I'm right there.
Hey, I get it. I mean, I love it.
I know what
My
these
first one
movies
was
go like.
Cannibal Ferox. It's a good one. I mean,
You've had no fun until you've been in a Nazi military officer's jacket, knee deep in fucking stagnant water with a big, large, unrifled fucking stagecoach gun.
oh
You've
god,
done nothing, my friend.
that's so
That's
great though.
exploitation. You kind of get used to that vibe,
Right now, we were able to talk about this episode. We are able to,
Yes.
dive into this comic book a little bit too. Now, you don't really have a lot to compare this off of because you haven't really sat down and. I mean, I'm going in chronological order, so if you can imagine, I mean, I'm 4 years into this podcast of talking about Tales from the
Yeah,
Crypt
you
at the
can't near
moment.
the end, are you? Yeah, you're not far.
I am getting there. I mean, I'm already working on what might be planned next, and I mean, just a hint right now, what's up in the running that everyone so far really likes, because I'm going to let the audience vote. People are really wanting me to do is a 6-episode miniseries of starring one of my favorite all-time actors too. But Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, starring Matt Berry.
Okay.
Which
There's so many ways you could go right now.
I mean,
After this, I mean, you know,
yeah.
you've got a few, but it's like it's not a lot left. I was kind of watching stuff earlier, and it's like,
yeah,
there's so many places you
it's
can
a fairly
go.
downward trend at the moment, unfortunately. But I mean, it could be worse. I mean, this is season 7. I'm not going to get anything like I did from season 2 or season 3 again. You know, I knew what I was getting myself into. I mean, by the time of doing this show, realistically, this is probably my 9th or 10th time going through season 7, and I've gone through that one the least. So I still
But it's
watch it.
documentation. I think that's pretty cool. As I say, for me, I feel embarrassed that this is the first time I've looked at season 7, even though I've like got the movies and I've actually got the series up until here. Season 7, I think I've maybe seen one episode before until we came to this. I'm kind of embarrassed with it being Tales from the Crypt, and it's like I was so surprised with how English. Yet again, they made this shift, and it's like I've kind of come to this point this week. I was like, "Wow, what the fuck?"
it's even with the the production being switched over and everything, like I don't know,
It's a tangent, man. It's a fucking tangent.
It's kind of a slap to the face what they did to the series at this point, unfortunately.
Look, I'm English and I'm not calling, but fuck, what happened? Where did we go with it? It was like, what the fuck were they thinking? For me,
the worst part is to me is like you didn't lose a lot of the producers. You still had people like Richard Donner.
Honestly, from what I've read,
behind this.
the actors they wanted, from what I've been reading this week, is they couldn't afford because of taxation rights for working in this country. And a lot of English actors they wanted who were big, like say Roger Moore for this season, couldn't do it because it would cost them too much to work in their own country because they were living like places like Switzerland, etc. It's like they couldn't have the names they needed.
See, one of the things is like I've read that too, but like I've had quite a few people who have starred in the episodes on too, and there's been a large chunk of those people who have, I'm not going to mention a lot of names, but I mean, there is behind the scenes talk, and a very, very large majority of these people who were on these episodes, bigger and smaller names, took scale to be on this series because you were working with these producers, and these producers made every fucking movie basically from 1985 to, I mean, still today. I mean, you got some of the biggest producers of all time that did this.
It's kind of,
so it's
personally, it's kind of that thing. Someone comes to you and gives you that opportunity.
Yeah.
Especially as it sounds bad, I'm kind of flying the fucking English are coming, but it's like you get an opportunity like that as an English fucking actor. Even then, all that time ago, you're gonna go, yeah, I'll do it. I don't care. I don't care if I don't get paid. I don't care if I get fuck all. I'm gonna do it. It kind of works that way, and I feel that's how it kind of worked.
I mean, basically, one of the people who was open about it, for instance, Timothy Stacks. He was a writer for like My Name Is Earl. He's on one of my favorite comedy shows, Son of the Beach.
My Name Is Earl is fucking awesome.
He's a hilarious guy. But he was basically, his exact words on the matter was, you got a chance to work with these people. You fucking took it. That's simple. It didn't matter. It was for scale.
Seriously, I made Slit the Clown in fucking 11 days because Lloyd went, yeah, that's a good idea.
Right. Now,
you get the chance, you kind of go, fuck yeah. Art.
You're right. It is. It is. Now, everything aside, though, if you had to rate this episode between 1 and 10, with 10 being the best, and I know you don't have a lot to compare this season 2 and everything, but where would you throw this? I mean, being a Tales from the Crypt episode.
As a Tales from the Crypt episode, I'd say it's kind of out the ballpark for me because it seems like something I would have watched with my fucking parents on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And Tales from the Crypt used to like terrify me as a kid, but watching this now, It's so fucking English to me. It's no, like the neighbor with the cup of sugar and the nosy fucker and like the bad accent and like the argyle sweater and like the gingerbread and just like it's not scary. If I'm rating it on if I'm rating it on scary, then fuck no. This is like normal English life in that time. In the 90s, I was like fucking normal.
Normal English time in the 90s, always involved with threesomes and murders. No,
Seriously, you think I'm fucking joking? I'm absolutely serious. I was like normal English shit, man, in the 90s. If you based it on
really
like
love that.
it's true. I'm not even taking the piss.
I'm not arguing it. I am not. I have not.
I
done
mean,
any
even the
research on the
language they
topic.
use in the whole episode is so like seriously. It's where I live, what they're based in the area of. You know, it's like
I love it.
it's great. It's like basically middle class people where I come from. And it's great. But if you're basing it on how much did I like the episode for how much it scared me, in a case of not coming from the place it's supposed to be from, I like the twist at the end. I like the fact it's the old woman who lives next door who twists it all. I like that.
Right.
I love that about it. The gingerbread, the sort of, she set that up even though she was like being beaten down by the main fucking writer bird. She's like, oh God, you're terrible. Your writing's just trash. But like, it didn't matter because she got her own. I liked that. I like that about it. But did it scare me? Absolutely not. It's actually like most neighbors I had when I was like in my teens.
Hey, I get it. I mean, I've never actually rated it on like a did it scare me type level. I've always kind of just like, in comparison of other episodes, like where would
I
I
thought
throw
the
it?
story was good. I
You know,
thought it resonated with me because of the Englishness of it.
right? No, I get that. Like one of the things that gets me, and especially being somebody who's really into like these 1950s horror comic books, which I mean, if you can't tell, I mean that whole shelf up there is just full of them.
Yeah, I can see.
And I'm
My
really into the shit,
backdrop's poor at the moment.
right? But I really wanted to see that story. I wanted to see this freakish little weird creature crawling out of a
Yeah,
man and
you
sneaking
wanted to
into
see
place.
that original,
I wanted to see that. And
and I get that.
you know
I
the
totally. There's so many times
right.
that happens with everything
Well,
everywhere. It's
yeah.
like
Well, I mean,
you need the origin.
yes and no. I mean, like I'm trying to think of like book movie comparisons. Like even with like The Witcher, I mean, there's slight differences, but I mean, this would be like if you took The Witcher and like, all right, we're gonna take the show, but we're gonna base it in the year 4052, and there's space for
Massive
pirates.
dramatic leap
I
that was
mean,
not
you know what I mean? Like
necessary.
they changed it to such a ridiculous point that the main moral of the story is even gone. And
Again, that's the curse of the remake. I saw Morgan's episode.
yeah.
Waspazilla, shout out for my main girl
Oh
Morgan,
yeah.
by the way. But yeah, I saw what she said in your interview for like last year, where it's like, I'm not a fan of remakes. There is maybe a handful of remakes I could do, and that's what I'm saying. You
Right.
remake something 90% of the time, it's not necessary.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, with film, with film, I'm still a strong believer that it can be done right,
It
and it
can, but
has.
it's rare that it
It,
is. That's the point.
I
It's
can
like
only name a
people do it.
few instances, but I mean, the ones I name though, I mean, they're really good. I mean,
You'd hate the ones I'd name. I'm willing to go to fucking hell on it, to be
let's
honest.
do it right now. Let's go.
I'm fucking there for it, right? So
Right.
I actually like the Fright Night remake.
Okay. All right.
David Tennant is fucking awesome.
I don't think it's
Colin Farrell's
horrible.
an asshole. We all know this. I'm not
Right.
saying him, but like the other people in that movie are fucking sick. As a remake, as a modern fucking easy chuck away, I can watch that and kind of like go and eat pizza and sleep. That was
Right.
fucking great. The Friday Night remake was sick.
All right. I mean, I will say that I don't think that one's a horrible one. I mean, I'm still gonna like. I still think the original stands up way better.
Oh,
But
the original stands up as it is
I
because of
don't
cinematics
hate.
and the way
Yeah,
the creature feature looked in
but
the original effects.
I
The
didn't
whole
hate the
80s
remake.
vibe is like sick. But
I
as a
like
remake for something that's non-offensive, apart from Colin Farrell,
right. Well, I
um,
mean, I like Colin Farrell in that one
I
actually. I'll be
kind of
honest.
do, but it's kind of I don't know if it's for English.
I will say the remake thing that they did with Fright Night 2, I thought that was garbage. But that's my opinion on
Right,
that
I
one.
kind
You
of
know,
barely remember it, but remembered it was
it was
shit,
bad.
and that's why I don't remember it.
Right? Now, as far as remakes go, I'm gonna say, and this is a little controversial because of the people who made it, but I think the Saskas twins, when they remade Rabid, the Cronenberg film, I think they did a fucking fantastic job there.
Right, Cronenberg films is like a in it, you know, you're blowing that up, and it's like Rabbit. I've
The
not
body
seen,
horror to an
I've seen it
extreme
in
level.
clips. I know other people have said I live my life a lot of the time because of what I do and how busy I am that I see and live through people's fucking reviews and clips, and that's really bad. But I've heard it's kind of shock factor beautiful.
Yeah. I
I mean, I
personally like it.
haven't seen it, so I
Right.
can't really say, but I've heard it's like shock factor beautiful, and
Right.
I've heard a lot of people say the remake's good, you know?
I will also say that I think not the newest one, but I think the first remake of Black Christmas is good. I The third one though, Black Xmas, the one that if you're a fan of them, excuse me, but that fucking piece of shit cocksucker Jason Blum from Blumhouse put out, I
Do you kiss your fucking mother with that mouth, you mouth?
no.
Good, I'm fucking glad. I have no personal opinion, but shit, man.
I that dude,
But no,
he is.
I have no personal
Oh my
opinion
god,
on that. But
it's bad. It's a
yeah,
really bad remake.
look, what I think is bad and good, it's a tangent, mate. Yeah, I like things that
Right,
people don't like. But yeah, Black
right.
Christmas, fucking great.
Right.
Original.
Now,
I don't think I've seen a remake. I'll be
well,
honest.
the first remake
I know
still
it's
has
talked
Billy
about a
in it.
lot on our streams and shit.
Right. Well, the first remake still has Billy in the house and everything, and it still kind of stays true to that story. The Blumhouse version does not have Billy. It's kind of more of like a frat boy story, and
Yeah.
it has magic.
So then we could kind of go, yeah, we could kind of go something's a remake, or you could kind of go something's not saying it's a remake and it's just
Yeah.
general plagiarizing is a
He
remake.
steals he
Like this
basically buys
episode,
the name.
if we go back to the episode,
Yeah.
literally the first 3 minutes, I had like a stranger calls and fucking shit vibes.
Right.
Yeah, everything's plagiarized in life. So I'm saying with this episode, it's like what you're saying now. It's like everything's remade, everything's a
Yeah.
remake or a screenmake or whatever.
It's all been the main
It's all
stories have
been done
always been
before. It's just
rehashed.
like whether you're paying homage or copying. There's
Right.
a difference.
And that's one of the things I do like about Tales from the Crypt. Like, yeah, the TV shows from the 90s, you got the Amicus films from the 70s, but when you really break down a lot of the Tales from the Crypt stuff and having the comic books come out between 1950 and 1954, a lot of the horror stories that we all grew up loving are rehashed stories from things that were written from the Gaines family and Tales from the Crypt. Even certain episodes of like Twilight Zone kind of took off on that.
Absolutely.
I
Tales
mean,
from the
it's
Unexpected, Tales from the Dark Side.
oh yeah, all of them. I mean, and like I
Yeah,
said, the TV show came out later than all these, but the
yeah.
written thing, I mean, it's been
It was all
noted
a
by
premise.
multiple people. Yeah. I mean, even Hitchcock was a collector of EC comics. I mean, it's obvious and it's
We did
really
Dark
cool.
Disney the other week on. Well, we did Fairy Tales on Hamiltonville the other week. Fuck me, that's a whole world of dark right there.
Right. But anyways, we talked about the episode a little bit. Let's talk
Yes,
a little bit about you now. So I got this movie, Slutty the Clown, limited edition.
that's me.
It's 150 of these. I got one of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Ultra Edition is apparently 150.
there's 150 of the Ultra Edition.
I think there's an Ultra Limited and a Limited. Honestly, don't quite know how it works. I'm just going with it.
I got the one that's limited to 150 copies.
Yeah, so that should have had an art card, I feel. I don't know if the guys are in comments, they'll know. They've all got it.
But
I kind
I
of just
do.
am here, and that's what it is. But
Right.
yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I got to make a film.
Hey,
Yeah.
and you did a really good job. That I mean,
Thank
now
you. You're very,
did
very kind.
hey, I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I mean, let's see. I got an art. I did not get an art card. I
I'm sure the Ultra came with an art card.
I did not get an
The
art card.
guys will say in
I
comments,
I
they'll know.
I would have noticed
I've got one
100%.
copy somewhere. I had to find my own copy somewhere. It's somewhere. But yeah,
I just want to see what this art card is. See what I'm actually missing.
I'm actually well. There were several different choices that you didn't pick, but they kind of came as standard. I think Don's got the Ultra with an art card. I think Clint's got normal. I don't know what Mike's got. Well, I don't know. Everyone's got one because they love me and they're awesome. But yeah, it's like it came on different editions. But fuck me, how lucky am I to get to like literally go and do my photography and modeling and stuff I do, and then all of a sudden go, oh yeah, you can do a movie. Wow, that's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
I mean, and you did a really good job. Now, this is actually
Thank you.
you ended up getting Lloyd Kaufman, and I'm assuming they're
Oh, Lloyd is absolutely the most lovely human being in the world. Uncle Lloyd is amazing.
yeah.
Um,
Did you get
he's
to
just
actually do a lot of the stuff filming in person with him?
no, I did nothing in person. It was all done remotely with Lloyd. I've chatted to him several times on the phone. Still chat to him
Right.
now. It was all done remotely. Obviously, I'm UK.
Right. Well, I mean, you never know these days. I mean,
And
Lloyd,
Ari's was done remotely, obviously, because I've got Ari Lehman
right.
and the first
And
Jason.
yes, I'm very, very familiar.
Yeah, so that's one of the art cards that came
Yeah, I didn't
in
get
the
one.
box originally.
Damn, I really missed out.
Honestly, I'll send you a lot of stuff. I've got some media stuff and that I can send you.
Oh, well, thank
But
you.
yeah, I was so fucking lucky. There ain't every day that someone gets like a chance to like have Lloyd and Ari and be supported and make your own movie with your own name with your own character on it. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, that's actually pretty cool. The fact that it's, and you were talking to me earlier. Like, this is a character that you've had.
Oh, I created it myself. Well, I created it myself with my husband Rich, which, as you know, we do a lot of photography, work
Oh yeah,
together, films, etc.
yeah,
Literally, it started as I say as a Pennywise cosplay. Maybe about I think about 6 or 7 years ago now. It was a Pennywise cosplay, and by the second time we ran it through, it was something different. It turned into her, and then 3 years ago, sorry, 2.5 years ago, I got a gig with She-Dogs as the SS to
yes,
play a super soldier, a prisoner that had been. It was in a fake trauma trailer.
yeah.
It's around
For
there somewhere.
it's Grindsploitation 9, right?
Yes, it's on Transportation. Thank you.
Mhm. Yep.
To play this a prisoner that was made into a super soldier, basically, and kills all the Nazis at the end. Go me. Lloyd kind of knew that was going on. We spoke to him, and he was like, saw my slutty character, and was like, "Wow, can you
Right.
do this? Do it, get it out." So we
I
did.
gotta see some of that because there are some scenes about that on here too. But
Yeah, the
w-
outtakes, I feel are on there on the trailers, aren't they? Yeah, on
yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, with that whole character and everything, was there a whole Ilsa kind of inspiration? I know you're into exploitation, so
For the She-Dogs.
yes,
Oh, God, right. Basically, originally I answered a friend who messaged me and said, "Oh my God, I've seen this casting. I think this would be perfect for you. You've done horror stuff, cosplays forever. It's a movie. This is this role." And I was supposed to play the Doctor role. originally I was cast, not cast, but sought for the Doctor role.
All right.
I applied, sent some stuff. Basically, they came back to me and went, "Wow, no, we want you for this." And within days, it developed. And that role, it was so off the cuff.
That's still pretty cool. Do you have
It
any
was
other
really
things
not fun.
planned? Oh, sorry. Do you have any other things planned with Trauma coming up?
At the moment, I feel I've got Diwali Maniac Bloodbath, which I worked on last year with Apotheosis Productions, with Balraj Khan, which will be coming on Stroma, I would think, later on, possibly this year.
Next year.
Or early next year. I've also got the Birdwatcher, which is with the same guy. The thing is, I worked on all these before September, and then, as you know, I got sick.
Right. Yes.
I've kind of just got back to work in the last few weeks. I was in hospital and everything, but basically,
and hopefully everything's going better with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting back to work. I'm here.
Hey, sometimes that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. So basically, since September, I've kind of been out of the loop, but definitely towards the end of this year and in January, I've got trailers for Diwali Maniac Bloodbath, which is the first Asian English slasher we've ever in this country. It's set an English-Asian wedding with conflict and ensuing violence, and it's very bloody. And I'm playing the bride's mum in that. I'm playing my own age as a real person.
Tell me you're playing the Asian lady.
No, I do wear a sari though. I do wear a sari. I have screenshots. I can say them. But cool. Yeah, I played the mother of the bride in that, who actually turns out to be of a kind of Ripley character.
Huh. Well, that's really cool. That's really cool.
And then I have Birdwatcher, where I play a character called Nova Black, who is a bitchy TV producer. And basically, she goes out to shoot a rare bird for a documentary and runs into some kind of Hills of Eyes hillbilly bird watchers. And basically, I won't say much more, but vans and shoes. And my crew.
Everything that you're saying sounds really fun.
But yeah, I'll have some links for that. So, as I said, we're kind of waiting on trailers for that right now. They were last year.
That's still really cool.
On that.
You're definitely gonna have to keep me updated and everything. And when you get closer to that,
and of course you can see me on the Hammersville Hangout on a Saturday night, talking absolute bollocks with my friends.
Those are some good guys over there too. They've been on the show.
Fuck me, that's so
Don
awesome.
and Clint have, and
I love these guys, man.
Good guys.
For my life.
They're really fun. And they're the type of people to look out for you too. They're legitimately good people.
So big brothers, families, sisters, mothers, and brothers all to me every day.
Whenever you talk to Don, which I'm sure you'll talk to Don probably later on this evening at some point.
I talk to all the time. He's my fucking brother.
Ask him when we're gonna watch Dick Sharks.
We watch Dick Sharks tomorrow. We watch anything with dicks, man. It's fucking done, isn't it? Put a dick in it. He's there, isn't he? He's gonna be watching right now. I guarantee he's gonna be slagging me up in comments any second now. I'm waiting for it.
I haven't seen him in there yet.
I'm shocked.
There's been quite a bit.
But I did leave the hangout to come here.
Right. Well,
I wanted to. Don't worry.
We peaked out pretty big tonight. So
yeah, tangents are off when I'm on there. It's one of them.
Yeah. I'm happy. We'll definitely.
I've got so much stuff written down as well about in the episode where he's like, Sharon, how was he Osborne? He's like, what the fuck was that?
It was before you even heard that whole phrase too, because that phrase became a lot more popular especially with Ozzy, more when he had this reality show.
Exactly, it must have been later, but what the fuck?
This is way later. It's crazy.
Mind blown.
Diwali, Maniac, Bloodbath, and Birdwatcher will be good British B movies to watch out
Yeah,
for.
Rich is in Birdwatcher too.
Yeah.
He has a kind of Wicker Man burning ending.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but he is definitely the photographer, if you will.
Of
Right.
course.
I
There's only him that will put the fuck up with it.
I have to go, and I know he's not on the show, but I know he can hear me, and I know he's probably
He sat
somewhere
like
around there.
straight opposite me.
That motherfucker could take a picture.
Seriously, I
he is
am blessed
awesome
that
on that
someone
camera.
can take pictures like he does, and we can work the way we do together.
Oh my!
I'm
I mean,
absolutely fucking blessed
and,
every
and
day.
and don't get me wrong, like what he does with you is awesome and everything, but I mean, I've looked through just some of his shots of just things. I mean,
Literally, when you see
he has
his
a great
like
eye.
versions of sea threats and scenery and just inanimate objects,
Oh man, he just
people, this is the point. People look at the ass, and we all like the ass, you know. It's what makes them more money, right? We're all good, yeah. But Rich takes a picture of fucking anything and makes it look great, you know.
oh,
It's like I'm a
he's great.
photographer as well, which gets lost a lot. No, seriously, I am actually a photographer. It gets lost.
He's like, I love the ass.
Because everyone wants to see my fucking ass, not my photography.
Right.
It's just life. It's true fucking times, isn't it? You know?
No, you're not wrong. And you know what, too? Kind of to piggyback off of that, if they want to see your ass, I'm sure they can go and check that out over at your Twitter.
They can go and check it out on Twitter. They can check it out on Instagram and Facebook, and they can go and follow my OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, and I am posting a lot of these links too, by the way. And
Yeah, man.
as discussed earlier, if you're into more fun accounts, like cough cough OnlyFans, then you would probably want to go and check out the Twitter.
Yeah, my Twitter's pretty pretty. I've because I've been sick for a while. It's kind of scaled down to what it was, but it's all right. Mm.
I mean,
My
you do have a lot
OnlyFans
of
is
content,
very
though.
exclusive for only £15.
Say that again.
Sorry, $15 on my OnlyFans will get you full exclusive access.
There you guys, you heard
Links
it
are
here.
on my Twitter. I'm not
$15.
really active, but there's enough content on there for $15.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Look,
you guys should just check it out
you
anyway.
know what?
I mean,
I would.
at least
Do you
buy
know
the
what? I'm
movie too.
happy if someone goes and follows my social media and likes what we do as art.
I mean, I do.
I'm good with that, and I make fuck all from that, but I'm good with that.
I mean, I think a lot of the things you do are really cool. Like, just
Thank you.
you know, and it doesn't even have to be some of the quote unquote more like you know, sexual type pictures and things like that. But like,
Thank you.
I
That means
actually
the world.
legitimately like some of the really dark kind of stuff that you guys do, and yeah, just some of the imagery. Like, I'm not sure if you guys have like sets, or if he's putting props up when he's doing some of this stuff, or if he's legitimately finding these kind of like creepier places where you guys are doing some of the stuff. But I mean, just the actual art behind it is
95%
really
of our stuff we are visiting these places. I was an urban explorer before, and me and Richard were urban explorers before we did any of this. That
really
was our first love.
wow.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Full story.
No, that's really
Exclusive.
cool. That's really cool. I mean, I'm not sure if it's illegal. So if it is, I'll probably
in
be
your
cutting
country
this out.
it is. In mine, it's sketchy.
It is? Well,
So
me and a
if
few
you live
friends
in
used
your
to go out to
country,
Detroit and break
it
into
is
some of those
classed
places.
as burglary.
Yeah.
Trespassing and burglary. Yeah.
Which is weird though,
In
because I
our
mean, here
country,
the homeless
if
people live there.
I don't break anything and I walk through a hole in a fence or climb over a fence, it is classed as trespassing down to the person who owns that property.
Oh.
So the police can't prosecute you. It will come down to the owner if they could afford it, be bothered. In your country, the police would say that if you even walk through a hole in the fence, you were burglarizing and you will be prosecuted by the state.
You could tell that you've done this a lot because you had to look into the legal aspects of
Oh
it.
no, I have friends all over the world. As I say, originally, our children left home and went to college, as you would say. And we were kind of on our own, and we'd done lots of creative stuff in the past, Halloween based, cosplay based. Children left home was like, what could we do? We had friends in urban exploration, urbex. We kind of watched some videos and went, oh, we should do this. And then for kind of 2 years before what you see now, we actually just went out and did a bundle of locations, asylums, schools, churches, seminaries, factories, anything we could find. And that's kind of where we got to a point where it was like, these pictures are great, what we are taking. And you said about Richard's pictures that I, of me or of a place or a scene.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and they're great. So we kind of sat there and went, what else can we do? Kind of one day we took a bag and some dresses and a bit of crazy shit in a bag, and then we're here.
right. I'm
And
trying to
that's what happened.
I'm actually while we're talking, trying to find one of the pictures that I really like, and I can't find it right now.
There's so much, man.
It almost looked kind of like almost like a haunted house type thing. It was really cool though.
Was it clown or normal me?
I think it was normal you,
Okay.
but
Was I wearing clothes or not?
that I don't remember, honestly.
That's the problem you've got. Right there.
Was I wearing clothes?
Could be anything.
I like how
love you. I've just seen that message. I'm not seeing a message come up. Cool.
I like how
Seriously, we've done so much, and it's such
Oh
a
my
short
God.
space of time. But it's like everything went crazy. We decided we could do some art stuff, and then the next thing I do, I'm in a trauma movie.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's like
even the one that you did kind of done in the clown makeup, but kind of like still like half done as like almost like a nun in that church. I mean that it looks
a nun,
so
right?
fucking-
That could be.
Well, you know what I mean. It's not necessarily a nun, but you have like the part of the get up on.
That could be one of three things. Have I got clown makeup with it?
Yes.
Oh, that is that little church. If I've got 5 miles away, church. Where is it? What's it called? Speaking Church. I'm thinking if I've got clown makeup on, kind of a half cheerleader fucking skirt and a bat. Maybe.
Sure. It's
maybe some like
you
Jewish Catholic shit.
You legitimately.
I'm reading a poem mag sat in the pulpit.
I'm trying to see if I can bring the image up for some reason.
It's all right. I get lost. We've got so much you won't believe.
I completely believe that.
Honestly, the amount of content we've created over the last 6 years is like, wow.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. That is... Wait, smaller.
I don't know. It'll come up on here in a sec.
No, I think that's not sweeter. That is, fuck. I don't know what it is. Hang on. It'll be so much right.
Speeton Church, yeah.
Ah, he was right. It was Speeton.
It's just the
We used to do a thing which is kind of odd called churching.
It's called
really. I'm hoping that like you have American audience rather than English. We have basically in our country, little tiny village churches. 99% of the time are open.
Really?
You can walk into them, and I'm talking tiny little things. They aren't locked. It's like you could just walk in, and if you think you got 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, you ain't gonna see nobody.
Huh.
There's some photos out there on my account.
Don's
I'm
here.
kind of not proud, but I kind of am.
Don says he's here watching you.
Don's always watching me because he's my boy.
Don, like I told her earlier, since you're watching now, when are we gonna watch Dick Sharks? So definitely got to get together for that one. But
Don is a
anyway,
dick shark.
I don't know if you've actually seen the movie. I sent it Don's way before, so I'm hopefully
I've
he'll.
heard about it in some chat actually,
It's
like earlier.
it's weird. He says, "Oh yes, sir."
I like a bit
Yeah.
of weird though.
But I
It's
mean,
good stuff.
going back to some of the art stuff, though, I mean, it's really fucking cool. Some of the shit that you guys were able to pull off, and I mean,
Thank you. I do
like I
appreciate
said,
it. It's like
go ahead.
it's mad because I kind of look back at myself. We both do in years gone past, and we've always had creative options, but it's like we kind of always wanted to create something odd, you know.
Right.
Now a lot of it is salacious. Yeah, don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's like I don't give a fuck. I am where I am, but it's like a lot of it is quite horror based, and we go quite dark with some of the stuff we do, which would normally be like not in the same category as like. It kind of comes back to what we say with Slutty. It's like, don't want to come or cry. It's like you don't know how to feel about it, and that's kind of what we strive for. It's like you don't know whether to be like hard or like fucking run. It's like if I'm achieving that, if we're achieving that, that's kind of where we are.
Right. I think one of the best ways to kind of sum up a lot of your stuff in general is basically the catchphrase that was used for Slutty the Clown.
Come on, cry.
You won't know if you want to come or cry.
Shout out to my best friend, Lauren Annett, Know the Unknown One, who is Cheryl Williams in Slutty the Clown, who gets
really?
killed with the dildo barbed wire bats on the mouth. The strap on.
A very
That's my best
creative
friend.
way to go. That's for sure.
She did that for me, this film. That's my best friend. Shout out to her. She created that line. She created Don't Know Whether to Come or Cry.
I mean, she definitely deserves some creative freedom with a lot of the stuff that I mean she's wow. That's
honestly, I mean the nerve gun scene alone, she deserves a fucking Oscar. Sorry, she's just a
the way she died there, I don't feel like it was the first time. I don't think my best friend
how hard and difficult that was for us. And the wheelbarrow scene with the window to the wall. I mean, fuck me. She's you've maybe seen her on the Hammerville. I've had her on an interview for Cheryl Williams in my movie. My best friend is crazy fuck.
Really?
Lauren, she's the best.
I need to talk to her about that.
Yeah, she created Come On Cry. She created that tagline. That is Lauren Annett's full credits. Let go.
I mean, it's a hell of a tagline. I give her that.
Yeah, she's my best friend. Always.
I love that.
She only did that movie because of me. She was terrified. She didn't want to do it. I forced her. I was like, "You're my best mate. You have to do this with me."
Hey, I mean,
and she got fucking killed in the mouth with a strap-on dildo barbed wire about pucker.
I mean, everybody did a pretty good job in this movie too. I mean, like
full send for everyone who acted in that movie. I'll be honest.
There's not a lot of actors in this movie to begin with.
No, there isn't. It's very small. There's like 5 of us. I think Rich gets killed at the end. Rich is the guy in the tent at the end, by the way. My husband. Right. Yeah. No, there's Lily Thorpe. I'll be honest. She dies like a bitch, man. She's great. Lily did a fucking great job.
The deaths and everything in this are well done.
I mean, fuck me. I was very, very lucky to just be able to run with being a fucking psycho.
Right. I will say one of the things that you told me kind of, I guess in a way it's like I enjoyed the movie to begin with, first off. And then when you said there is so much more footage, it's like, now I feel like you guys held back on me. like what was this beforehand? Like what kind? Well,
You know
like
what? I
in
feel it
your
was a
opinion,
beast
like
that lost footage, as I said.
yeah,
There was lost footage. Um,
like more than what was already on here with deleted scenes and
yeah,
everything.
there's lost footage.
Oh man,
Definitely.
did it change the entire story and the way that this was originally thought and how it was going to go?
I could literally share the original story right now. What you gotta remember is you're shooting an indie movie with fuck all. We haven't got Indiegogo. We don't have no fucking GoFundMe.
Yeah, Richard says
It's
sorry
like
for
this
that
is someone says to you, you've got a chance to make this character to this, and we'll just do it on what we've got. And Lloyd Kaufman goes, yeah, I'll back you if you do it. I'll put my name on it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So you do it, and it's like it is hard. You know, there's no buffer.
right.
It's
Still
not like,
really interesting though. It would just
oh
be cool to
god, I
see.
mean, fuck me, what an experience. You get to fucking 46 years old and you go, oh wow, I'm gonna be a B movie with Lloyd Kaufman. That's gonna get on Troma and people are gonna actually like go, wow, that's a character. Fuck me. That doesn't
I mean,
happen.
I think it's cool. I mean, I don't think there should
I'm
be really an
grateful
age
every
for a
day I've
lot
got
of
the
those
opportunity,
things.
even if like it's some kid in fucking 10 years in his fucking bedroom.
Hey, I mean,
Sorry to be crude, but with his cock in his hand, thinking, wow, this is the best movie I've ever seen. It's really shit. I don't care.
you
Because
know
you know
damn
what?
well
Well, I
that
did something, man.
situations, or
I
you know
did
damn well
something.
that situations that have already existed at some point now.
Fucking Don's in comments somewhere saying the only clown who masturbates to is Suck the Clown, guarantee you.
I think he dipped out already, but you know, I got a
I
feeling that this,
guarantee he'll come back and fucking verify that point at some point.
I will say that Don and I haven't really talked about it a lot, but I suspect that this is in his Blu-ray player all the time.
Yeah,
And
Don was one of the first to buy it, and everyone in Amherstville were my fucking absolute G's in my life bought it straight away. And loads of fans bought it straight away. It's fun. And I mean, I'll be honest, like, compared to my She Dogs trailers, like, I'm pretty chase. Even to like my fucking pictures. Everyone else in it has got full fucking asshole out.
yeah,
It's like, I think you see my nips for like 5 seconds. Oh, so that's cool. I can deal with that.
right.
But it's
I
like
mean,
my
yeah,
pictures portray more. It's like everyone else in that movie
yeah.
has got more going,
You're not wrong there. Richard
which
says
is unusual for me to say that I
longer,
did
more
the full
brutal.
She Dogs and the SS trailer completely naked with a like Nazi jacket on.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean,
You've got to be who you are,
Nazi
aren't you?
exploitation
You know,
is
it's
kind of
like
like
I'm
that,
not bothered about that stuff. It's
right?
like who I am in my life and my friends is one thing. Who I am on screen is another.
Right. Well,
You
I
know,
mean, when
look,
you
the fact
right,
that
well,
someone wants to see me naked at over 40 years old, I'm fucking winning. You know what I mean?
there you go. There you go. I'll say, like, obviously, there's definitely no shame or anything in it. I mean, you
Oh
created
God, no.
Slutty the Clown, and people can head over to your Twitter and find your OnlyFans page for $15.
Yeah, you can find all my links everywhere.
So,
DM
you
me
know,
if you want a link. I'm quite personable, and as long as you're a real human being and you don't talk like a knobhead, you know.
well, I mean, I don't know if I would go that far with a lot of people. I mean, there are definitely some creeps out there.
Oh, you know, I will talk to any fan, any person who wants to talk about anything we do.
You guys heard that.
It comes to the point of how you approach someone, doesn't it?
Right. No, you're definitely not wrong there. That's for sure. Well, anyways, I don't want to hold you all night. We're already a little bit later than what we usually go, but
Sorry, I'm a rambler.
no, do not apologize whatsoever. I always like having new people on. I always like having fun and getting to know some of the experiences and things is awesome. And then, you know, like one of the things I opened up with this whole episode too is like the fact that, I opened it up with, oh, she doesn't live very far from this. Where realistically, and I know it probably makes me sound like an asshole now, I had no idea where you actually like legitimately lived. And you said it was 13 miles away. Like, who the fuck would have guessed that was that fucking spot on?
Honestly, like it's odd. This was the thing. That was American Werewolf in London. Was 13 miles away.
Really?
But like the actual episode we looked at tonight, it was based. They said Chumley, which is actually in Devon, which is 300 miles away that way. But the accent was from where we live in North Yorkshire, where I live.
Huh. Yeah. American Werewolf.
And it's
in
weird
London,
because,
man.
as I say, as you said, the English colloquials are like the accents between 10, 15 miles are like huge.
Really, that's still an interesting thing, and I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to get you on again at some point and just do like
I
a
love
whole.
that. Thank you for having me on. It means a
We'll
lot.
have to do like a whole history lesson on accents over there.
The guys at Hamiltonville will tell you I'll bore you to fucking death with little tiny details that no one gives a fuck about, and they'll tell you. I swear. John's in comments right now going, "You're a cunt." I swear to God.
I don't know. He hasn't said too much. I mean,
I'm shocked. It's
Yeah.
not normal.
Hey, it's is what it is. I mean, it is pretty late. I know it's at least for me here. It's almost.
It's only
We're pretty
half
close
4
to
in the morning,
12:30,
man. It's fine.
11:30. But anyways, though, like I said, thank you so much. Thank you, Richard, for all the great work that you do as well and making a lot of these things possible for her. Because I know, I mean, just seeing a lot of the stuff all over the pages, I know he has to be a huge influence on everything that's going on.
We work so well together as a team, and always have, and everything we've done has come from that.
And that is awesome. Well, anyways, feel free to stay after we do this and I shut it down. But definitely want to show you something pretty interesting that happened.
I need to see.
What was that?
I need to see what you're going to show me.
Oh, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, to say the least. But anyways, thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for watching this. Remember, go and check out Slutty the Clown. You can find the Blu-ray out there. I mean, I posted the links already. I know that filmtreasures.co.uk has it. I know Dark Star Films has it. So check out everything that's going on there. Check out her OnlyFans. Check out that Twitter account. And also, buy my fucking comic book. Don't be a bitch. I got another one coming out.
You need to see comic book too.
I will have to send you one. You will get one.
I'll order one. Send me a link. I'll order one.
Oh, I don't.
No, I'll buy one. Shh.
I don't know if I even have it set up for international shipping because the last time I made a mistake.
Fucking international shipping is doing my life right now. Don't even talk to me about English international fucking shipping with America.
Well, here, I'll leave it at this. Last time I did a contest, it was a big contest with 3 prizes, and
I'm struggling. I've got merch sat here. I cannot fucking ship to America. Don't even go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you send me a bag. I'll send you some like merch.
I'll send you.
All right, we'll do a merch trade type thing.
We'll do some.
It's
terrible. Honestly, the shipping's bad.
Oh yeah. When I did the contest, I halfway through seeing it, and I was like, man, I really should have just been like, only Americans can do this.
Honestly, I'm struggling to ship merch to America of anything. It's costing me like 3 times as much as what I'm shipping.
It was like almost 5 times the difference here.
Yeah, it's
like,
bad. It's same. We've got same other way. Honestly,
it's insane. But thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks everyone for watching. And
you are so welcome.
With that being said, the crypt is closed.
Thanks for listening, kiddies. You're all a scream.